Day 78. Thanks for your votes. Alright, so yeah, only three keys. I thought we would have more. Thought we would have 4 or 5 maybe. Oh, there's throne room. Blackburn edition costs 5 gems. Wow. Clock tower. For each tomorrow where you draft it. So maybe it's after that. Okay, that's fine. So let's go here. We have 3 keys, 4 gems, 44 coins. These are smashed. I'm a little sad there was nothing in this. I was kind of hoping for like an upgrade disc or, you know, just something, or an allowance token or something to be in the second one. But let's go outside. I want to do 2 things today outside. I want to first draft our outer room. And then I want to look in the tunnel and see if, you know, 4 crates being removed isn't that much. But it might have unlocked even like a little thing. So let's take a look. Shelter, trading post, or root cellar. Trading post, we can immediately trade in the key card, but I like having the key card to start with. So let's go shelter. Shelter is a real one. We get a free gem by going in here. So let's just do that. And I can set up another experiment right off the bat. We love free shit. You hate the root cellar and the hovel. Now that I have 70 steps to start with, like the hovel doesn't seem that scary anymore. And also because I've chopped the like gem requirement off some things, but the root cellar, unless you start with a shovel, it's just not that great, you know, unless you can have a pretty good sense. Okay, no additional mail. Unless you have a really good sense that you are gonna have a shovel, it's just not worth it usually. Remote terminal access. We'll start laboratory, yes, and we'll start an experiment right off the bat. Decreases your odds of finding a shovel, yeah. All right, let's actually curate our packet a little bit here. So things I want to have access to. Or let's see what things are we going to be good here. So drafting a shop room, pretty good. Security doors, pretty good. Gems, pretty good. Sure. Let's not do that one. Tomorrow room. Upgraded floor plans, that'll be really good. Fireplace. Let's start there. And then experimental effects. I like a lot of these. I'm actually going to not do the gain a star. Lose half your steps and gain 4 ivory die. That could be huge, but we'll see. I'm not going to do the lower the reservoir by 1 because I think this is interesting, but at the moment I want the reservoir where it is, and I'm not ready to I'm not ready to lower the total amount of water yet. Even though I think the way I could work that would be so that I would eventually be able to have the fountain and the pool fully drained and have the reservoir where I want it. But then the thing is, I don't need the fountain to be drained anymore. Like, the fountain being drained is not a priority for me. So Let's set up our experiment. Continue. It makes it less reliable, for sure, but I also, you know, I want a lot of different things to happen, so let's do permanently increase your lockpicking skills. That is a cute one. For each bedroom you draft after 2 seconds, for each room with a fireplace, or whenever you spend 2 or more gems. That seems like the likely best one. I am going to be curious to see center. I've never really bothered to look at the radiation monitor, but with some of these new experiment setups, it actually might start to become relevant. So, but yeah, permanently increasing my lockpicking skills seems like a good trade every time I spend 2 or more gems drafting a room. That seems like a very good trade. We may eventually get to the point that I just don't, if I get a lockpick kit, I just don't ever need keys. Okay. So what I wanted to look at was, I wanted to see what the effect of removing some crates from the tunnel was. We only removed 4 crates. And I'm sure that we need to remove a lot more to make progress here. But I am curious just to see... Okay, yeah, so what it did was it took crates off, like, the top of here. So it's possible that there's going to be multiple, like, stages to this. This is the same foreman's log we've seen before. It also, we may need to come back down here with, like, the burn lamp multiple times to light the way. But it's good to know. I can see farther in now, which is interesting. Very curious what's going to be through there. Yeah. So as far as the throne room is concerned, because drafting the throne room is a big priority for me, I'm going to be curious to see if I actually just get it at some point, or if I do need to get the crown for it or something weird like that. Because sometimes there's weird requirements you don't know about. Ooh. While drafting, you may spend gems to redraw floor plans up to 8 times. That could be huge, actually. We'll take that right away. It has a gem in it. It has a gem in here. So we're starting with gems today. I don't think there's anything I need to examine in here right now. But that's a good start. Den, bedroom, spare green room. Den gives me another gem. Spare green room has the chance of giving me like a shovel or a watering can or something like that. Let's go spare green room. Oh, a lever. Antechamber lever. Okay. Or a broken lever. That's also good. That's also good. Let's go here. See if we can get something that goes left. Breakfast nook does. Gets me a key. Break room does, and gives me the option for like another key card tomorrow. Let's start with the breakfast nook though. Just, you know, get it out of the way, get my key, get my bacon and eggs. Okay, pantry, corridor, storeroom. I don't want to use corridor here so early, so I think we'll go pantry. We'll need something that goes north here soon, but could always go back to the entrance hall and draft from there too, but I think we're okay. Chapel, observatory, or den. Get chapel out of the way. We're sheltered from it, so no worries. Although I'd rather spend the shelter on like archive or something, but all right, let's go here. Cloister of Rinna. We have 2 chances to raise our luck off of this. Although bedroom also is a pretty good choice here. Let's do bedroom actually. And then we'll try to draft Cloister of Rinna maybe another time. Hallway, kitchen, or redraw. Do the hallway. Gets me 2 doors. A locked trunk. Yeah, I have a bunch of reroll gems, which I will use, but... 2 keys. Trade 1 key for 2 keys. Let's go here. Passageway is absolutely fantastic there. And then we'll go this way. Nursery, kitchen. We'll do nursery. Get myself set up nicely for steps later. Get my gem. Go. And then we have all the ways in the world to go here. We'll start by going east, I think. Archives. Archives is great here. We are sheltered from it, so no downside. Let's get it out of the way while we have it sheltered. I do think there are 2 more keys for this, and I need to drain the aquarium to find them. Key here. Morning room, library. Morning room gives me access to this lower thing and gives me more gems, so let's just do that. Because if we hit a throne room, I want to have gems for it. Lucky rabbit's foot. Dead end here, hopefully. Solarium is a good dead end. Yeah. We're likely to find unusual and rare rooms while drafting. I love that for me. We know about this. I don't have a shovel. Okay. Let's go straight across the passageway and draft the west side. Dark room, break room, pool. Pool would give me pump room, potentially, which would give me the option for draining the aquarium. Yeah, I've got resources though. I've got gems. I've got resources. I'm not too worried on those. Darkroom gets me across to the west wing. Pool gets me north and south. Do darkroom. Sheltered from this as well. It has the lights don't go out. Darkroom and archives are 2 great red rooms to shelter from. West Wing Hall is exactly what I wanted to see here. Get me my south access and my north access. Armory, commissary, veranda. So here's the question. Do I care more about some of the potential of like chopping gem requirements off of things? I could chop the gem requirements off of the throne room. Like that's huge, right? But I could also grab veranda. That'll trigger my experiment. I actually think veranda is nice here. That'll trigger my experiment. My skill in lockpicking is improved. Permanent bonus. Sledgehammer is wonderful. And hey, look. And there's a trunk right there. Have we axed anything other than passageway? Yeah, I have. I have already axed passageway, cloister, trophy room. And I've thought about axing classroom and aquarium. I've also thought about axing like... Now the throne room is an interesting one. This throne room is in found floor plans, which does make me a little sad because I was kind of hoping there would be an entire category of black print rooms, but whatever. All right, we got lots of resources. Hi, Kosi. Can we place hammer with he? Of course we can. Ooh. Attic, break room, vault. I actually really wanted to draft the attic again. My skill in lockpicking has improved. I know it's a lot of gems, but we'll probably get some gems up here. I do not want the compass. Screw that. Magnifying glass. Okay. Yeah, I actually really wanted to draft the attic again because I feel like I feel like I may not have seen everything there is to see up here, if that makes sense. And I actually don't know if I've inspected everything up here with a magnifying glass. Change the editing to April 12th. Kosi, how are you today? Hope you're having a lovely day. I also want to smash urns everywhere, but I haven't. Oh, I can go back here. Hang on. What? Since when can I go back here? This is security. Okay. This is an interesting one. I'm going to take a picture of that. So I'll have to draft security and see what that's showing me. What room that is. Because there was also... That is wild. I did not expect that I could, like, shimmy through here. Can I shimmy through anything over here? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. Yeah, you're supposed to be able to notice that there's something back there and then see. That's clever. Just to work as per usual. Fair enough. Alright. So we've locked off some stuff there, but we have 4 ways to go up here. And we have 10 gems and 7 keys. I really would like to draft security. I have a silver key. We'll use a regular key here, I think. Den, library, laundry room. Den is perfectly reasonable here, I think. Yeah, Den is perfectly reasonable here. Let's go up first and then across here. Corridor, planetarium, patio. Spread gems in each green room. Cute. Simon's a small boy. Just can't climb or jump. Yeah, can't climb or jump. We'll go ahead and do corridor there. Actually, just have a nice little passageway up. And then we'll go across. Silver key. Okay, weight room, security, great hall. I do want security, but I actually wanted something that goes to the foundation here, and great hall does. So I'm actually going to do that, and then weirdly, I'm going to take the steps to go through here. Oh, this is going to be locked anyway, huh? Although I know which one it is, so I can just not open that one, huh? Let's go up through the passageway. We have so many options here. Okay. Guest bedroom, furnace, laboratory. We've already done the experimental house features. I'm going to redraw. I don't like those. Boiler room is pretty reasonable here. Music room also, actually. Well, that also permanently increases my lockpicking skills. Prism key. This is now open, which is great. So that makes my... Oh! No, I thought that was another sledgehammer. It's not. So that makes my Great Hall slightly more unlocked. I don't really want to spend all my keys. I'd rather get a lockpick and do that. So let's go this way. Commissary could be good. Let's do commissary. We have a lot of money, and I didn't get the. Yeah, let's buy it out of this stuff. I didn't get the armory, so I'm just gonna spend it here. We don't have a key card. We do have a key card. What am I talking about? Of course we have a key card. Lovely. Dormitory is interesting here. I wanted to draft the dormitory again. We'll get 8 steps right off the bat. We'll probably get an additional whatever steps. Yeah. Yeah. But I wanted to get the dormitory again. Because I actually have only drafted this once, I think. Maybe twice. Yeah, Kororika is orange. I remember that now from the classroom. There was the flags. So I think I wrote that down, but I confused myself with other things. So Kororika is orange. Yeah, it's orange. For some reason, I thought this was purple and yellow. Potentially, but try not to backseat. If I fuck it up, I fuck it up. That's fine. I don't know what color Vera is, but Kororika, this is telling me orange. The flag on the classroom is orange. I'm pretty sure Morajai is white. So, okay. So that's that. Yeah, the thing is, I don't need, not that I don't need reminders, but like, reminders sometimes change how I would play, and if I make mistakes, that's fine. You know what I mean? We don't need to protect me from making mistakes, because that's part of the experience, and that's also part of how I learn. But I appreciate the concern. I've already read through all this, but I don't think... Yeah, we know Kororika is mountainous. I haven't read this one in a while. Classrooms, great, 8 grades. Yep, we know that. We've gone through all 8 grades of the classroom. I know I didn't understand everything, but we did go through them all. 3 rooms, split ducks in 3 ways. There's a happy duck. We love that. Drafting a door from a door that is steam power will increase the likelihood of drafting rooms with ducts. Yep, we know that. I really wish I had read this earlier in my playthrough. Tomorrow rooms, love that. Freezer puzzles, spreading. Okay. All right, let's go. Got a bunch of stuff. There are dig spots I can dig, and I have so many steps now that I kind of want to. Yeah, the Architectural Digest books are really great, and I read through... You get 3 is automatically in the library, right? Number 3. Number 1, I think, is in the drafting studio, so I read those 2 pretty early, and then I added 4 and 5 to the library pretty early as well, before I ever read 3. Yeah, they were definitely my first priority too a lot of the time. Okay, see, more keys, more steps. Love thing. Okay, we have 9 keys, so I am going to spend a little bit of them here. So we know that's the den. We know that's the music room. So let's just open up a few of these. Okay, there's that. Let's go here. Nice. Gem, antechamber lever. And then I think this one, because of the metal detector going off. Yeah. Love that. Okay, perfect. So we have our foundation. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to dig here. See if we find anything. And then I'm going to go straight down and actually pull the north antechamber lever now. I have a magnifying glass. I just realized that the break room giving you a key card. Yeah, we can go back down the tunnel. I don't think I had a magnifying glass the last time when I went to the safe house, or the only time I've been to the safe house. I actually might go over there too. Because I actually don't think I had a magnifying glass. What was I saying? I was saying the break room giving you a key card right off the bat is actually insane, because that way, if you start with a key card, you know you can just go straight to the foundation. Okay, pull this. So I'm going to try to actually go into the antechamber before I fully draft the house, in case I need the crown in order to draft the throne room. Probably one of the best upgrades in the game, yeah. So this is Kororika. Let's fiddle around with it a little bit and see, because I think this one is, I think we're close on this one. So I think we decided that maybe spiritual made sense. I'm not 100% convinced on that one. And then this is the rays, which we're pretty sure is snowy here. Yep. And then this is the one I don't know at all. And then we know it's orange. And orange is the triangles. Yeah. I feel like I tried all of these things before, though. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. What was this one? This was agricultural, which just doesn't make sense to me, but maybe? I think we decided academic or spiritual made the most sense. So let me do spiritual. Oop, no, I didn't want to do that. Do you remember where we got this info? This was from a combination of places. So the schoolhouse and the dormitory give us the color being orange. Actually, the description of the freezer tells us that Kororika is snowy. The stamp doesn't tell us much other than that it is mountainous, and then the look of it to me implied either academic or spiritual in terms of that. As far as the transportation, I have no information, basically. But that's where we got the information. So I feel like just a tiny bit more information would make this like for sure. Let me switch this to academic. I think that was academic. Yeah, let me try academic here. There it is. So that was interesting, that this was road street carriages for the rays. And I have a magnifying glass. Mount Ephros, Kororika, School of Drafting. Interesting, Kororika, School of Drafting. See, this is, yeah, this is not very clear, but this, I guess he's reading a book. That's academic, huh? Alright, there have been fewer and fewer opportunities the further we travel up into the mountains to attend to my correspondence, and I find myself regretting having brought so many books, as this is the first realm I have visited without porters. Here, every person is expected to carry their own belongings, and if you can't, you throw away that which is expendable. It's looking like I'll be bringing back less souvenirs than I had planned. I never expected to appreciate the cold, but the frigid weather here is a welcome relief coming from the sweltering shores of Vera. P.S. I ended up forsaking all but one of my books. That is good information. We now know that Vera is hot. And we now know that he went to Vera right before Kororika. Do I want to know where I can know for certain that it was academic? No, that's okay. I will figure that out later. I'm okay guessing for now. And then at some point I'm sure it will... I'll see it and then I'll get it. To my correspondence. So he went to Kororika after Vera. So we know he went to Orinda Ares first. We know he did Fen Ares last. Okay, so after Vera. I feel like the 8 postcards are going to be a logic puzzle to put them in order. So, okay. Tree. Cute. Kororika. I mean, just the fact that the dormitory, you know, is Kororika. Studio Editions. Right. The fact that this has Kororika information, like regalia in it, and this is associated with school, right? Scholar, denizen of academia who wishes to focus on their studies, like that is to me enough to make that, I think, pretty reasonable. Let's see about this. All right, Mora Jai box. The university variation. Far from the port towns of the lesser islands, academics of Kororika were among the last strongholds where the puzzle box fad spread. Unlike other realms whose regional rule variation emerged organically over time, the students of Kororika designed orange tiles by committing, voting on student-submitted designs, and picking the one they felt best represented the realm. When these tiles are pressed, the majority of adjacent tiles, if the majority of adjacent tiles share a color, then the pressed tile will change to that color. Interesting. So we know that pink, if I'm correct, rotates. Whatever. If possible. Maybe this is purple. This is purple, not pink. So purple travels down, I think, right? Green flips with whatever's across from it. Black shifts the whole thing, shifts the row across. Black shifts the row across. So we want to get orange, presumably in every color, in every corner. So how can we... I can put an orange one down here by doing that. And then I can put a green one there. Right. Do I even need the... I don't even need to press the orange tiles. Okay, that was easy. But this might come in handy in a future puzzle. That might come in handy in a future puzzle. Because we might find orange boxes elsewhere. Okay, so... Oh, and that explains... That explains the one in the... the trading post. That's how that one works in the trading post. Got it. Okay, so we now have 5 of these done. Let's take a look at the next ones just in case. So this one is Mora Jai. This one I am even less convinced of. I will need to read up on this. I know it's white, and I know it's naval. That's basically all I know about it. So we would be totally guessing on the weather and the moats. I could probably do... I could probably guess a little bit. If I had the library, I could double check my Mora Jai stamp to see if I could learn anything there. Yeah, we have 5 of 8 sigils. I feel like I know Vera better, but is this one Vera? This one's Vera. So I feel like Vera. I actually know this one may be a little better. We know this one is hot because the last letter said sweltering. This is going to be turtles because there's a whole thing about the turtles of Vera, and they're on the stamp to begin with. So there's turtles. And then we know that, and then, ooh. The Vera stamp is also orange, though. But I wonder if it's actually not that. If there's actually another color associated with it. What colors have we used? So this one is green, which I think is nuance. Well, let's click it anyway. Not that. This one's violet, which is definitely Iraja. This one is black, which is Orinda Aries. This one's white, which I think is Morajai. This one is yellow, which is Arch Aries. This one is pink, which I actually don't know if we have a pink one yet. I actually don't think we have a pink one yet. Oops. And that one was red, which we know is Fen Aries for sure. But yeah, what we know for sure about Vera is that it is hot, that it has turtles. There it is. We knew for sure it was hot. We knew it had turtles. And we knew that it was... I actually didn't know it was orange. It was pink. But, okay. What did I just say that was? That's spiritual. So this is spiritual. Kororika, we said we know is academic now. We know that the rays are roads. Writing all this down just in case. But yeah. Okay, so let's see what this postcard says. So that makes me think that maybe Nuance will be tribal. Although even then, it seems weird. Maybe Morajai? I don't know. Yeah, see, that is very much an orange stamp. So this color does not associate, the stamp color does not always associate with the color of it. Okay, despite my prejudices against Mother Nature, love that intro, I own that I have deeply loved my time here at Vera. The memories of the youthful trip I took here with my brother have been relentless, and as I have gotten older, I find less and less occasion to recollect on such trivial pleasures. One thing I do remember vividly, which has not lost a single speck of charm, are the famous turtles. Each visitor of Vera, upon arriving, is lent one of these hard-shelled friends for the duration of their stay, to serve as both steed, guide, and companion. I am still under the spell of island life, even if the weather here is much more severe than it was in Morajai. So it looks like he went Morajai, Vera, Kororika. That also implies that Morajai weather might be like normal weather. There's one set of rays that's like not specifically outstanding weather of any sort, and saying more severe means the weather in Morajai is not severe, aka maybe normal. So let's write down that Vera was after Morajai. And I actually know, I need to double check, but one of the other ones I read was after Morajai. Was after... No, I don't know. We'll have to see. If Morajai was naval. That's a little interesting. I'm going to have to piece that together. Pink tiles, all adjacent and diagonal tiles rotate around the pressed tile. So the orange tiles are going to... There we go. That'll turn that to pink. And then... that'll turn that to pink. That'll turn that to pink. Now it should be pretty easy. To get I say it should be pretty easy to get these in every corner, but maybe it won't be. There we go. Figured if I fiddled around with it enough, we'd get it. Okay. Alright, well there's 6 of 8. Our allowance is now 48, which is great. So Kororika's done. Hang on. So this is the only one that's open that we haven't done. Morajai. So, we think Morajai, the only things I'm sure about are that it is naval. I think the weather is normal, which is actually this moat right here, this ray right here. Lack of unusual weather, and that it's white. That's white, right? No, the open circles is white. So we'll just try all of the modes. See if any of these work. There it is. So this is agricultural. Okay. Morajai. Ooh, that's interesting design. Okay. After a short sea voyage, we arrived on the main island of Morajai last night in good spirits. The people here are belligerent in their politeness, and after spending a full day among the Jayarail, I am just as afraid of eating another dish as I am of rejecting their offers. Hi, Haggis. Yeah, lots of progress today. I may try to sneak away tomorrow and spend some time alone with my books, as I've noticed that each realm I have visited has one thing in common. They have each been short on solitude. Okay. After a short sea voyage, huh? Okay. So we have yellow ones, pink, which rotates, white, which flips gray boxes, adjacent gray boxes to white, yellow, which I literally just already forgot what those do. Maybe they go across. Yellow goes up. That's right, yellow goes up. So if I want a yellow goes up. Okay, so what I want to do ideally is get maybe all the yellow ones on the bottom first. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, if I hit that, that sends the yellow one up into that space, and then there. That's easy. Okay. All right. Allowance is at 50. We have 7 of 8 done. Only one sanctum room left, and that'll be for nuance. And our sanctum key for that's going to be in the throne room, almost certainly. This is still something I don't know. It's from the boiler room. I just pieced that together. This is from the boiler room. The red box in the boiler room, which I sort of thought was just a dead end. That is what that powers. Of course. Okay, now I need to write that down. Boiler room, red box, underpass, room. Okay. Information gained. Information gained. The boiler room. So if we do that, we can't. That limits what we can have open from the boiler room at once. But that's okay. Potentially, we can just grab something from down there, and then kind of be done with it. We are going to take a boat ride really quick, because I'm pretty sure when we went to the safe house for the first and only time so far, I am pretty sure we did not get a chance to actually examine the documents with the magnifying glass. So I want to do that. Also, like, there's pipes in here, right? Those are something. There's gotta be, right? No way these pipes are not something. So this is a picture I took a picture of. I don't think there's anything to examine here, but we'll look anyway. Yeah, there's not really anything to see there. I do want to find that location though, because I don't know where that location is, and I think it's telling me to smash it with a hammer. This is also the... We took a picture of this. This is also the security, which I don't have security right now. But now I have two things I want to check out in security. Yeah, I mean, this is just a note. This we can now look at a little more closely. Security system controls behind the closed exhibit, security doors, guards. Car. Victorious King Tiskin and the War of the Fifth Era. White Pharaoh Marigold. Those are three last names, basically. That's the general, like, of the blessing of the general, right? White 124, roof access question mark. Manning. Museum entrance, south pathway. This is interesting. As cool as this would be, it's too easy to track, literally. In Museum Station Cafe. Basically, they're saying there is a train station to the museum station, which is... Art House. You know, we're kind of missing some information here. Like, this has a little bit of information, but like Museum Station Cafe, right? That's not shown on the map. We might actually need like another page of this to see where everything actually is. Okay. What's the circled text again? This text here. Both Learson Hall and the main concourse featured a number of, quote, closed exhibits, which are reserved for an upper tier of elite patronage and are not currently open to the public for admission. The only text that I couldn't really read on here before was this. Security system controls behind the closed exhibit. That's really the only thing that I really couldn't read. I still think this is a puzzle. Royal Station with the letters taken off. There's a letter missing, right? But I don't think there's anything hidden in here to magnifying glass. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, we have some new objectives. Okay. So I'm looking around for smashable walls. But I do kind of suspect the pipes will be something. Okay, let's go back. This was from a Great Alzara premonition. Let's go back up into the house. I think we're done out here for now. That's not true. We're not done out here for now. There was something else I wanted to look at, and I think now I have a way to get to it. Of course. Patent for high pressure condenser. Streamline to boiler. Boiler figure, figure 2 power box. Of course. That's telling you the connection between the boiler room and the red door down there. No, I want to go down the elevator. We're not going to bother with the chessboard. I don't think we can actually do it. I don't think I have a king or a queen drafted. But there's a piece of paper down here I want to examine. Yeah, not this one. But we have this. Okay, that's the chess puzzle. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we don't. I do have the study. Study is queen. If I had an office, we actually might have it here. Because I do have chapel. I do have nook, rook. I don't know that I have a knight anywhere. But it doesn't matter because I'm okay with where I am on that. But there's a piece of paper over here that I wanted to examine in more detail. This one. This right here, 10, buried floor plan. Is there a 10 on the full map? Here's the full map. There is no printed 10. There's only 1 through 9 on the full map. But my guess is it would actually be on... Oh no, it's right there. It's in the basement. Okay. Did I drain the... It's a buried floor plan in the basement. Is this drained all the way? It's not. Okay, so I do have to go back through the long way, but that's okay. We have a lot of steps. We have a lot of steps. Okay. I had never taken a magnifying glass to that before. So... And I have a shovel, so we'll just go right in there and do that. Which is good, because I kind of have to go back through the basement anyway for the... to get back to the foundation. God, every day today, or every day at this point in the game, just feels like we're learning so much. You know... Gone are the times of like 7-minute runs where I quickly end up in a corner and that's it. Okay. So basement here. There's a buried floor plan right over here somewhere. Right here. Yeah. Lost and found. 2 rare items. Red room. Whenever you enter this room, you will lose 1 random inventory item. Wow. But it has 2 rare items in it. unusual. There's always been, whenever you enter the room, so you really don't want to enter that room multiple times because it contains 2 rare items. So trading 1 for 2 is not too bad, but going in and losing multiple items really sucks. There's always been a history of things disappearing on the estate, including this very floor plan, which had been lost for many years itself and missing from the directory. Now that it has been found, some long-lost items from Mount Holly's past might finally resurface. Alright, well, now we have another room to try and draft. Okay. Also nice when you don't have any items. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh yeah, progress is progressing today. So let's go east from here. We have 3 doors. We have 2 out of the foundation, 1 out of the corridor. I kind of want to get up into the room 46 first. You could shelter it, that's true, so you don't lose anything. I actually want to redraw this. Dovecote will work. Rotate floor plans. Yeah, we'll do that. It's not a bad room. There's always dig spots in here. I have the prism key, I think? Yeah, prism key right now. Not great. I think I've found items in these little hovels before. And then I know there's this. I've looked at these before. So, not too worried about those yet. I mean, I'm sure at some point I'll need to see those. Hey, there it is. Okay, so we've got 3 doors. We have enough gems. We're drafting the throne room. Your skill in picking locks has improved. There's my sanctum key. Right there. And there's another king. Okay. Oh, that was blending in. Okay. We have a throne. Can I sit? Oh, there's another antechamber lever here. That'll close it. Okay. Good to know. Another king. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna solve chess today. I still like my armory, and having the opportunity to potentially get some items and improve my future runs. Reclaim the crown. Maybe that's just saying, reclaim the crown. The crown is, antechamber lever. You don't have to go down to the basement. That's an interesting possibility, but I feel like there's got to be a puzzle in here somehow too. Let's see. Most of them are just holding a sword and shield, though. I can't seem to click on them. It's possible I could light these candles if I had, a candle lighter. There's 2 candelabras and 4 unlit candles. There's 2 lit candles by the throne. I don't know, but I can't click on any of these guys. So, and I'm curious if there's always coins in here as well. Obviously the sanctum key is good, and I may want to just go and do that now. But we have 48 steps. I'm not worried about steps right now. So okay, well, throne room drafted. And that's my last sanctum key. Let's just go do it. We're here. It's right here. Let's just go and see if we can do this. And if we can, getting to the antechamber means we might have that puzzle solved too. Like, this could be huge. If we can get this last room, this would be enormous. Because then I can look at all of the postcards at once and determine an order for Herbert's trip. But that is also interesting, meaning in theory, if you were to open the Blackbridge Grotto right away, you could get to room 46 without ever having to go through the basement. Which is a very interesting possibility. Sanctum door opened. This should be Nuance, our last one. Yep. Okay. So, Nuance. I only know a couple things about this one, which makes me nervous. We know... I don't know the weather in Nuance. What hasn't been used yet? That's a good question. Just in case there's not a lot of overlap, you know? Like, I feel like there's definitely some overlap, but there may not be a lot. I feel like we've never used Windy. So there could be just, you know, like, that's one thing. There could be a process of elimination right here. Where, oh my god, and it looks like a wind turbine too. That actually makes a huge amount of sense. We know that it is flight, which is that one right there. And we think the color is green. Which is that one. Okay. So the moats are something different, potentially. Also militaristic. Okay. Yeah, so also martial like Fen Ares, which also makes sense. We know that Nuance came to join Fen Ares in the war. There's a thing in the history saying Nuance joined in. That could be like your hint there. Okay. That is a city. That is fully just like a city. And that's interesting. Fucking spaceship? What? Okay. By far my favorite realm I have visited during this trip, but I have always had a penchant for technology, and am via airmail cute. The Royal East Air Changer. Yeah. And am less moved by the beauty of nature than others. The soot-filled streets and soaring skyscrapers here are just as stirring to me as the mountains of Kororika or the beaches of Morajai. Perhaps I am just letting my childhood love of dirigiblocks compromise my objectivity. From the shops I visited, it seems the series is just as popular here as it is back home. Speaking of home, as I look across the eastern sea, I can almost see its shores. I never thought that I would miss the sight of red flags. So this is implying to me that this was his last stop before Fen Ares, which we know was the last one. We know he started in Arinda Ares. We know he ended in Fen Ares. This implies to me that this is step 7 of 8. Green tiles. tiles. Green tiles jump across the board. Yeah. Yeah, we know that. So I think we've encountered every color. So we want green. Green will jump. Purple travels down. Orange will change to whatever is majority. So we need the orange tiles surrounded by green tiles. Basically, here is what we're seeing. Black shifts across. Gray does nothing, I think. So if I hit this this one here, that'll flip those. That'll change that to green. So that's great. Purple goes down. Swap that to green. Purple goes down. That should change this to green. There we go. So now we have 4 greens. So that's what we needed there. Purple goes down. Purple goes down. Green. Purple goes down. Purple goes down. Green. Green. Hang on. Purple goes down. There's 3. I need... Purple goes down. There we go. I need to get this green one up. Hang on, I think I may have actually kind of fucked this. Yeah, I think I may have fucked this. So black shifts across. So green, flipping green there turns this green. Easy peasy. Flip those across. Flip those across. That won't turn that green. Put the orange one there. This one's pretty tricky, actually. Get that one green. Did this once before, huh? Get that one green. Now we need to get these into the corners. So we can get one in the corner that way, one in the corner that way. flip the black box up there that way. Flip that around. Okay, there's two. There's one there. That one there. Two there. Get one there. There we go. All right. There's my allowance token. Okay. So we have all 8 postcards. So I believe we have a logic puzzle that we can do here by just solving the order of operations, right? Which order did Uncle Herbert visit which location? He says very clearly, it seems fitting to begin the journey by visiting a fragment of the Old Kingdom. So, we know that Orinda Aries was first. I think that's the only detail that we get from this postcard. There might be something in the like post codes, but I don't know. That's a tough one to decipher. And I think the puzzle is designed to just tell me in the words what his order was. This last postcard, that to me says Fen Aries was last. Right? Fen Aries was last. Attempted to save the postmaster trip, it'll just wind up here once again to join the other 7. Yep, they are all waiting. Air travel is much better than sea travel. Remind Anne to replace the books I lost. Wonder if those are the 5 books in the thing. Air travel is much better than sea travel. But the problem is by this point he will have done all of the forms of travel. So you can't really glean much from that. This is Arch Aries. Arrived here after a few days of sailing. Okay. This time, however, I will avoid familiar towns and factories and will set trek along the northern coast. So this, to me, implies maybe he came here after Morajai. But also Vera might have been after Morajai. Because Morajai, I think, is the only one that's associated with naval. But we know he didn't... We know he boated to Fen Ares, so we know this was not before... we know this was not number 7, right? We know, I think we know that Nuance was number 7 at this point. But judging by the map, right? Where's my world map? There's my world map. Here's kind of my world map. If he boated back to Fen Ares, right? That would imply he was coming from across the sea, which means Arch Ares and Iraja were not right before Fen Ares. But maybe Arch Ares was. I don't know. Well, maybe Arch Ares. So we'll have to come back to this one. He arrived here after a few days of sailing. Iraja. Not been a drop of rain, as every Irajan story I've ever heard has begun with rain. But even without the rain, the puddles and ponds dot the countryside to make this place feel different than home. This one doesn't give you much. This one doesn't give us much info at all. Train. We know Iraja is associated with trains. So, like, if we read about train travel... Oh, hang on. Hi. Trophy of Sigils. I didn't read that, but it's for doing all of these. I ended up forsaking all but one of my books. Looks like I'll be bringing back less souvenirs than I had planned. So, frigid weather is a welcome relief coming from Vera. So we think this is Morajai. Oh, sorry, this is Kororika. So we know that it went at some point Vera to Kororika. And bringing back less souvenirs than I had planned. That implies to me that... I had a bit after this day? Yeah, for sure. That implies to me that if we read something about him buying souvenirs, that the buying souvenirs would have happened first. And that he would have had to, like, throw that away. You know? So let's see if we can piece together anything about that. This one's Morajai. A short sea voyage. So Morajai is a short sea voyage from Kororika, potentially. Could also be a short sea voyage from Arch Ares. I need a world map, you know? Like a proper world map. We arrived on the main island of Morajai, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's go back. These must be his souvenirs from each place, huh? So we know this was before Kororika. Even if the weather here is much more severe than it was on Morajai. So at some point, he went to Morajai before Kororika or Vera. Okay, so Morajai is somewhere before Vera, somewhere before Kororika. Not clear how much further before that. Could have been right before. Could have been a long way before. Vera to Morajai is a short voyage, so it could have been Morajai Vera. And last we have Nuance. I can see, almost see his shorts. I never thought I would miss the sight of red flags. That very clearly tells me that Nuance was second to last. Nuance was 7th. And he basically says here, I visited Morajai, I visited Kororika here. And then he arrives, missed the sight of red flags, arriving to Fen Ares, which we know is last. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a picture of each postcard. And then we're going to go up to the antechamber. And we're going to try to get into the room 46, and we're going to look at the map that's there, and while we do, we'll try to piece together the rest of this. Because I think some of these things might make a little bit more sense looking at the map. And yeah, but make sure that picture took. One, two, three. Okay, good. Yeah, I feel like some of these things might make more sense looking at a map, because then we'll be able to see the difference between a short sea voyage or like a long sea voyage, right? Yeah, this one gives you nothing. The Arajan one just gives you nothing. I mean, I'm sure it gives you something and I'm just not seeing it, but you know, from the way I look at it, I'm like, oh, that go on, give us nothing, you know? A few days of sailing. See, this is a much more this is a longer boat trip than the other boat trip he mentions, right? A few days of sailing versus a short trip. I will just say it is still one of my favorite implications of this game, that even after inheriting the mansion, that Simon still sleeps outside in his tent. I love that implication. Isn't a few days of sailing pretty short? It is, but also we don't know how big this planet is. And I don't know, the fact that one of them specifies a short voyage and one of them specifies after days of sailing, I don't know. Those lengths of time seem intentional to me, that rather than just, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. A few days of sailing is still pretty short, but also this is not Earth. At least it's not Earth as we know it, you know? So distances are hard to really know. Okay, so we can go up to the throne room, but we might as well just kind of go up this way. Name of the planet? I think it's Orindia. Armory is cute here. I don't want to do Chamber of Mirrors. Let's do Armory. We have 30 coins. 32. Okay, so Morningstar. Gain a star tomorrow. This is the equivalent of the whatchamacallit. Purchase that too. That's the equivalent of the burning glass. Let me see if I can light these candles. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. Can I light the candelabra? No. Okay. Alright, well, that idea about that puzzle. Might be, yeah, Orindia might just be the lower continent. Alright, let's go through the corridor, see if we can get something up there. Yeah, and that's the thing. I think sailing these days might be significantly faster. I want to draft security. So, we have two different pictures of security. First up is the one from the safe house. Has everything scribbled out in red and then a circled O on the office. What could you be telling me? And then we have another picture from the attic. Oh no, sorry, that's the one from the attic that has the office circled in O. Then we have the one from the safe house that has the archive and says delete it. What does that mean? Yeah, there's a compass we didn't pick up because fuck the compass. Set security level to high because we have a key card. Offline mode to unlocked. Turn to security menu. Log into network. Stop recording. A cam tape 5 and 6, B cam tape 1 and 2, C cam tape 2, 3, B cam tape 4, 5, C cam 2, 3. These keyboards aren't correct either. They're missing a letter. They're missing the letter I. Can I not click on any of you? Why would there be two different pictures showing these central security cameras? And there's an O on that one. And then the one up there says delete it. Hang on. They spell out swan song. I just realized that. These cameras waiting for Springtrap to pop up on the stream. So this is the spare bed, the spare room, top left. That's the walk-in closet. That's the archives. That's the nook. That's Swan. That's the storeroom. That's the office. That's the nursery. That's the gallery. The lower ones. This is security in the middle. Thank you for the thing. Herbert must have booby-trapped this house, probably. That's the showroom. I don't know if that's the hallway. I think that's the hallway, because then that would be Swan Song H. Herbert S. Sinclair, right? Herbert is Herbert S. Sinclair. So maybe the one in the safe house is just trying to tell you with O there. Yeah, I wasn't actually asking if it was the hallway. I was thinking it out. Where's my family tree? Yeah, Herbert S. Sinclair. So that spells Swan Song HSS, which makes me wonder. What if we just add HSS to this? And then what if we take out the A? Password accepted. Connecting to HSS. Okay. I also need to enter a password without the A. Home security surveillance, press enter. Security footage. I'm sorry. Oh my god, we get movies. Oh my god, we get movies. That looks like Mary in the library. Maybe Mary and Herbert in the library? Maybe Mary and her publisher, what's his name? I'm gonna have a whole page of notes just for this now. Okay. So that was February 9th of 87. $10:59 a.m. I'm gonna say Mary plus question mark in library. I'm pretty sure we can verify that to see if that is the date that Mary checked out the history of Arindia, I think it was, from the library. Next is 2/9/87, 12:01 p.m. Entrance. Yeah, there's a couple books that Mary checked out from the library, at least one, and you can cross-reference the dates against the checkout cards. We know that there's Kimberly Thompson checked out Drafting Strategy, for example, because she kept getting lost. We know that Detective Bon Margle checked out the history of Arindia. Anne Babbage checked out several books. So, same day, a little over an hour later, in the entrance hall. This is going to take a while. Edward, don't lick your paws. Poor Kimberly. I love Kimberly. Her note saying, "I'm lost. I don't know what to do. There's someone's feet. Maybe it was Detective Bon Margle." I'm gonna say Detective Margle leaves with book. This would also correspond with what we know. Kimberly Thompson was the one looking for the lab. Yeah, she's the other lab technician, and you can also use her code to enter the Blackbridge admin. She also has an active admin key. But we can verify there's a note in the History of Verindia Volume 2, the redacted one, that says that shows that Detective Von Margle checked out a book and left with it. So next we have 210, the very next day of 87. So this is all in the span of one day. 4:22 p.m. in security. I mean, that looks like Mom, right? That looks like Mary. Yeah, that's Mary. Mary in security. Holding up map of the underground. I took a picture of that. Train underground map. That is literally a map of the underground route that it said on the safe house. All the signs, right? The sign said Route 8, depart, keep left to Tanner Fork, right, dead end, record each stop on the way. And when I was going through the map, that is exactly the route, and you take the little dead end. Okay. 1987. 1988. No footage from 1988. 1989. No footage from 1989. 1990. Okay, not a lot here. I was worried there was going to be entries in every year. 1993. Oh my god, we have a bunch of entries here. Okay, 93 was a big year, which also makes sense, right? Because wasn't 93 is this year. 93 is this year. So this is, yeah, okay. So 11/6 is the day before we started. 11/7/1993 is Simon's first day at the house. That's day one. So 11/6. Oh, these are our things. Got it. 11/6 is the day before. 11x, 12x, whatever. These are 11. I guarantee 11x 1051 security. That's the day that we enter security and we see ourselves and poke the screen, right? That's that video. Rumpus rooms 1 through 6. Those are the 6 Alzara messages. 12x 942 Blackbridge Grotto. That's when we first entered Blackbridge Grotto. The blank one I'm not sure about. Let's watch some of these. Parlor. This was the day before, right? 11/6/93. I didn't write the date or the time. Parlor. Dogu Bomb presents. What? Oh my god, it's the starting message. It's going to be the starting message.
I, Herbert S. Sinclair of the Mount Holly Estate at Reddington, do publish and declare this instrument my last will and testament, and hereby revoke all wills and codicils heretofore.
This is potentially really good information. Of course, he recorded it in the parlor.
I give and bequeath to my grandnephew, Simon P. Jones, son of my dear niece, Mary Matthew, all of my right, title, and I own near Mount Holly.
Mm-hmm. Last will and testament.
Provision and bequest is contingent on my aforementioned grandnephew discovering the location of the 46th room of my 45-room estate. The location of the room has been kept a secret from all the staff and servants of the manor, but I am confident.
I love that it tells you Great Hall, gives you that as a hint.
Should have no trouble uncovering its whereabouts
Within a timely manner. I love that pun.
Should my grandnephew fail to uncover this room or provide proof of his discovery to the executors of my will, then this gift shall lapse.
Mm-hmm.
In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand this 18th day of March,
18th day of March was when he wrote his will. Okay. And in theory, recorded the message. Okay. Okay, we get to rewatch the starting message. I love that. That's great. I want to write down what time that was, though. I forgot to write down the time. $18:01. So 6:01. I'm just gonna look at these quickly. Yeah, this is the cutscene of when we first enter security. This is the cutscene of the Blackbridge Grotto that we just had. Clock Court Castle. Clock Court Castle. Oh, sorry, Cloak Court Castle. Cloak Court Castle. Yeah, this is when we opened the Blackbridge Grotto door for the first time. Cloak Castle Court. Yeah. Okay. What is this? Nothing there. So I'm okay. So there is some piece of footage I'm missing. This was not. This was Swan Song HHS. I'm going to do the deleted one in a minute. But this was Swan Song HHS. Okay, this is going to take a minute, but I want to rewatch these because I think these are the Great Alzara messages. And rewatching them might give me hints. HSS, yeah. Curious what the timestamps are. These are... Oh, what your timestamps are. Yeah. Okay, let's rewatch these.
And, as it was foretold, I am awakened at the sound of a dropping coin.
I actually don't think they're fixed. I think they vary because I had 3 in November and 3 in December, which lines up with how I played through.
I suspect you wish me to look at
And the...
the image.
I don't know, maybe they are fixed, but...
I see a boy standing on a shore of white sand.
That could be the entrance to the safe house.
He is looking for something. Something he was told he would not find.
This I don't know
I
yet.
see.
A black cat tied to a red flag. That's still unknown to me.
I hear the wind blowing.
This still doesn't make any sense to me.
The flag does not stir. I see a door marked by a rope.
We know about... assume that's room 46.
Is always locked, yet has no key. It is the door.
And then that is the entrance to the safe house. Although we did find that.
Beyond the dark.
Lost Room Beyond the Dark Waters, yeah.
What you have heard here has been foreseen.
Okay. Yeah, that is potentially true that these are not shown, because this, for example, I actually would have gotten this in January of 1994, Blackbridge Grotto, based on my number of days. So actually that would have been January 1994. Let's keep going. Watch the rest of these.
As it was foretold, I am awakened at the sound of a dropping coin. You find yourself face to face with the great Alzara. And I suspect you wish me to look into your future. The image.
This one's a little weird. This is out front of the house. Fountain. The car from the garage.
I see the darkened cloud of ruin. Familiar.
Some of these messages could be just mixtures of nonsense that aren't anything and clues, you know. This is obvious. 8 red envelopes,
Resting upon
8 pedestals,
pedestal.
8 red envelopes that are penned by different hands, of which you will only find and ever read 7.
8 envelopes. I see 8 letters penned by 8 different hands.
1 letter missing.
8 letters of which you
Yep.
will only ever find and read 7. Just like the art hanging
Clue about how the art works.
rooms, there is a
That line is very interesting. There is a letter missing, and I want to go back
heard here has
and read the red letters, actually,
by the
and
great
see if I can find letters missing in them.
until the dawn of the following day. I will have nothing more to
Right?
say.
Like if I read, because the letters are numbered. So if I read the letters in order, is there a letter missing from each letter? British Wyvern, hello! Welcome in, Raiders. We're playing some Blueprints. How are you? How's Kazan going? You were stuck with this raid message? Fair enough. Hi, Raiders. I'm Frog. We're playing some Blueprints. We are solving puzzles. We are making lots of progress today. Oh my god. Wyvern, what were you, how was the Kazan today? Did you make any progress past Viper? I think last time was I saw you playing Viper. You beat Ghost Volbino. Nice. Nice. Volbino is an interesting fight. Who's a bigger horse? Yeah. Well, Raiders, I'm Frog. I play a variety of games. Right now we're playing Blueprints, and which is very puzzly, but I also play Souls-like action-adventure games, horror games, all sorts of things. We are solving puzzles today. And so we are in security footage, rewatching some old messages we've been given. So stay tuned. But if you are someone who is wanting to play Blueprints and don't want any spoilers, just know we are potentially in spoiler territory today. So I'm going to keep going with these messages. These are pretty cryptic. No real worries here for all of you, but just so you know, we're listening to the Great Alzara
was foretold
and seeing if we can get any more information out of these hints.
at the sound of a dropping coin. You find yourself
Face to face with the Great Alzara. And of course, Wyvern, if you need to de-stream, have a nap, have a sleep, have some dinner, whatever you need to do, feel free to do so.
Yes,
Got 100 plus death. I'm trying to remember what my death count was. The fog is clearing, huh?
I see
This is unclear to me. That could be Detective Von Margel.
Silent footsteps in the hallway.
412 was my total death count for Kazan.
An unlatched gate.
This I have not seen. That's the side gate on the right side, I think.
A missing item you did not take.
Missing item from there. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at that.
I see a young boy watched from afar. A young boy who once was brave, but now afraid. What you have heard
Okay.
here has
Yeah.
been foreseen.
Let's look at this one.
And, as it was foretold, I am awakened at the sound of a dropping coin.
It's too hot to sleep, at least for you UK folks. Yeah, it's been pretty warm here at nights.
The great Alzara. And I suspect you wish me to look into your future.
Hi, Angie. It's not how many deaths you have. That, yeah. I certainly have to remember that. That looked like the spot where we dug up the floor plan.
I hear the
Pattering steps of children. Weird.
running in the forest. The joyful echoes of laughter in the courtyard.
Laughter in the courtyard.
I see an old man sitting
That is not Herbert,
in a chair.
but that is in the parlor.
A seed that has served many generations,
Yep, that's the foyer.
each with their own stories, each with their own secrets, each with their own endings.
It is Angle. You're right.
The same chair. What you have heard here has been foreseen by the great Alazar.
That is still pretty cryptic to me. Although that's the chair that's in the drawing room.
The following day, I will have nothing more to say.
So maybe I examine the chair in the parlor. Although maybe that's just trying to give you the hint to look at the painting to see that the candelabra is to the side. I don't know.
And as it was foretold,
Angie or Angel? Yeah.
I am awakened at the sound of a dropping coin.
What do you have to say, Alzara?
Face to face with the great Alzara. And I suspect you wish me to look into your future.
Okay, so this
Lay in the mist.
This looks like the statue that's on the map behind the museum from the safe house.
Statue cradled in a courtyard of sentinel stone.
Yeah, that looks like that statue. That is the symbol of Fen Ares. So that makes a lot of sense. This is by the museum.
Walking in the
This is not on the estate. This is by the museum.
wandering
Which means we're gonna fucking go there one day, I bet. Which is crazy.
and
Train station.
searching for a shadow that will never be cast.
Not the one underneath the...
Longing for the day to end.
Not the one underneath the house.
Hours
But something different.
pass.
12:15.
What you have heard here
Train
has been
station.
foreseen by the great
12:15 time.
Alzara until the dawn of the following day.
And last bit of footage.
And as it was foretold, I am awakened for one last time
One last time,
by
yep.
the sound of a dropping coin. You find yourself face to face with the great Alzara. And I suspect you wish me to impart to you one final
Yes, we want one final vision. Train station again. Room with 8 on it. This is not a room we've been to, though. Another, like, boat dock thing. That could be, like, Blackbridge. Yeah.
In the dim, I see cavern walls of stone.
This is not the tomb. But those torches might be lightable.
A hollow lit by a sea of 1,000 burning
This
stars.
looks like the Gemstone Cavern, but different, you know, with all these lanterns.
I see a treasure.
We've been through
buried
that.
beneath the cliff rocks.
Treasure buried beneath the cliff rocks.
A black mirror hidden among the memories of the falling
I
sand.
wonder if I need to dig around under there.
Within the black mirror, I see a figure.
That's us.
A figure standing in sullen snow.
Wild.
All of what I have told you, my young baron,
That's the box
I wish you to
that's in the shrine now, I think. Blueprints 2 spoilers. God.
meet again some distant day.
Alright, that's 1993. 1994, yeah, it doesn't exist yet. Okay, exit there. We're going to try one more thing. Which is we're going to do... Swan Song without the A. Incorrect. What about without either of the vowels? No. Okay. So, one other option. What about deleting just the A and leaving that? We'll try it without the HSS on the end. Incorrect. Okay, so I don't know what that other one, the one from the whatever that room is called. I don't know what the one from the safe house is trying to tell me with the picture and saying delete it with the A. I tried that one, Haggis. I tried Swan Song HHS without the A. I tried Swan Song without the A and the O. I tried that. My guess is maybe it's actually a different password. Maybe that's a password that Mary set for somewhere else. Okay, so let's continue. Yeah, no worries. But yeah, I did try that. Let's continue, see what else we can draft. As much as I want the chronograph. Ooh, what does the Night Shield do? Lets me protect myself from Iridium. I want to draft the pool, though. That's I am running low on gems. But We'll go ahead and do that. I should read what the Knight's Shield actually does, though. Ignore. Okay, got it. Open the Knight's Shield of any one red room. Got it. Hey, there we go. Wait, there's something else in here too. Oh, it's a key right here. Nice. Let's go up into the corner first, I think. I think I just have the prison key out, which that's not gonna fit. I didn't mean to click that. We'll use regular key. We have lots of keys. We don't have lots of gems though. Storeroom is fine here. Storeroom is fine here, actually. It's a dead end. So, might as well get us another gem, which is what we need right now. Ooh, Lost and Found. This locks me out a little bit. Although I can Knight's Shield it. And just learn about it. Let's use the Knight's Shield. And go into the Lost and Found. We won't lose any items. But we'll be able to see what's in here. That is an upgrade disc. That is a puzzle box. That is a pawn. That is a dead end. Oh my god, love this. We also have... Oh, look at that. Would you look at that? There, right there is a piece of one of the things we already figured out. That's Vera. With the heat, the spiritual, and the pink border. Would have been nice to have, but we figured it out anyway. This is Mila, the maid angel. I'm sure there's going to be a puzzle at some point that tells you what that requires you to know the names of the different angels. In fact, I'm going to write down the names of the different angels. I'm going to write down the names of the different angels because I just realized I've never done that. And how many do we know? Not very many, to be honest. If I had paid attention while I had gotten the cloister upgrade, I would have known a little bit more. So we have the gardener. I'm going to rewrite these in order. I have these on another page, but I'm going to rewrite them in order here. We have the gardener, the chef, the farmer, the chimney sweep, the maid, the jockey or equestrian, I'll say like queen, and then we have death. We know that death is Draxus because it's the same as the constellation, Draxus the Dread. We know that the garden is Vera, not Vera, Rinna, because I have my cloister of Rinna. And then we know that the maid is Mila. So those are the only three I know for sure right now. This is a picture of Mary in front of Mount Holly. This is the same picture that is in the office, I think. Okay, let's try to do this puzzle box. These are light pink, which means they just rotate around, huh? So this is just this puzzle again that I struggled with. There we go. Basically the same puzzle that was down in the same place. But then we have an upgrade disc, which is lovely, and we have a security place, and we have a telescope. We don't have a observatory today, but let's go put this upgrade disc in right now, right here. Random button pushing for the pink ones. Yeah, exactly. What have we not upgraded? Guest bedroom. Okay. Guest bedroom. Okay. Guest bedroom. Hidden effect of a random bedroom in your draft pool. So my understanding of that, again, I'm not looking for confirmation, but my understanding of that is basically that it gives you the 10 steps, or no, maybe it just, instead of 10 steps, give me a hidden effect of a random bedroom. So that could be something like the nursery, right? It could just be an extra nursery. It could be a bedroom, which isn't great on its own, right? So that would be, a plain bedroom would be worse than that. Nursery would probably be better. If it ends up being her ladyship's chamber, or the servant's chamber, or the master bedroom, that's better than a regular bedroom. But if it ends up being the maid's chamber, because that is a bedroom, that would be bad. So that's interesting. Quest bedroom, plus 10 steps. If you enter antechamber today, add 2 coins to your allowance. I like this, but I actually don't really care about adding coins to my allowance. We are already at over 50 allowance. So Geist bedroom, plus 2 dice instead of steps. And so instead of steps, we get dice. If you have the tomb on the estate, they gain an additional 4 dice. Interesting. So we lose steps if we take the Geist bedroom, but we gain dice, which honestly I think are more powerful. Guest bedroom is random, and randomization makes me nervous. This increases, guest bedroom increases randomization. Geist bedroom reduces randomization. We're gonna go Geist bedroom. Even if it's just plus 2 dice, I think plus 2 dice is just better than plus 10 steps most of the time. Because we have so many ways of gaining steps. Okay, so we need to go back into the throne room, and that's our only path at this point. Yeah, dice I think are easily the best item, which it makes sense. They're the hardest to get. I don't think the prism key will work from here. It won't. Okay. Worth checking. Worth checking. So we've got pump room, bunk room, or casino. Casino would get rid of all my gems. Pump room goes down, which isn't ideal. But it would let me tweak the water flow a little bit, which honestly isn't a big priority right now. Other than draining the aquarium to check things once, not a big priority for me. And that makes it harder to get anything else. We're going to redraw, actually. Oh, I could rotate once too. I could rotate, and that would put pump room up, which honestly might just be better. We'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that. Running shoes are still your favorite. I am very partial to the sledgehammer, but I do understand running shoes. Okay, keycard door, love that. No key needed. Workshop goes straight up, which, let's do it. Let's go workshop. Get a battery pack. All right, I want to see if I can create anything interesting here. So we know that Lucky Rabbit's Foot and Coin Purse go together. Sleeping Mask I don't know what Sleeping Mask goes with. Key card. Wait, hang on. What? No, key card plus key card. Okay. That doesn't go with anything. Shovel, we know, goes with battery pack and handle to make the jackhammer. It also goes with the metal detector to make the dowsing rod. Sledgehammer goes with the battery pack and the broken lever to make the power hammer, which, if I had a tomb, I would be all over that today. No. Battery pack. Battery pack we know goes with shovel and hammer. And broken lever for the same things. Magnifying glass goes with the metal detector for the burn glass, but we already have the torch, so I don't need that. And it goes with the... that's it. Running shoes. Going with something is a little wild to me. Metal detector goes with magnifying glass, goes with shovel, we know those. Salt, huh? Do I have any rooms that I want to smash? I kind of want to make the power hammer. The well-seasoned salty shoes. Yeah, exactly. I kind of want to make the power hammer and just take it around to different rooms and try smashing things. I really want the power hammer with the tomb, but we don't have a tomb today. Let's go up and see what else we find. Parlor, mailroom, master bedroom. Parlor, I can rotate and get into the antechamber. So we're doing that. Oh, there's coin purse. Okay. We'll try to solve the parlor game, even though we are now done drafting. We have now drafted the entire available house, but we'll try to solve it anyway. Actually, hang on. The wind-up key has arrows by it. My hunch, and again, I'm not asking for confirmation here, was that the things that have arrows on them are combinable. But actually, that's not true, because the broken lever and the lucky rabbit's foot do not. And I don't think I can use the wind-up key here. Wait, maybe I can. No, coin purse. I got coin purse. Coin purse can go with the lucky rabbit's foot. I know that. To make the lucky purse. So I don't care about that. Okay. Hey. Love that. All right. Room 46. God, I would love something that lets me keep my items today. We have found all of these. So, now we have the real puzzle. 8 realms in 8 months. Where's my thing? So, where are my postcard pictures? Here they are. So we know that Orinda Ares is first. And Orinda Ares and Fen Ares go, I think, in the same section. I think basically we put both of them in the same thing. We believe that Nuance is 7th. Okay? Nuance was the second to last one. So let's just do sort of a experiment here, right? I think this was Vera. Let me double check my school maps. Yeah, this is Vera where I have the 6. Morajai is on top. Kororika is below that. So let's do a little experiment, right? We believe that we believe that Vera was actually before Morajai. So it could be like Morajai 6, Vera there, 5, right? After a short sea voyage, just hopping up here. This is Morajai. Weather is much more severe than it was in Morajai. So we think... No, sorry. He visited Vera after Morajai. So the other way around. Potentially there. Morajai there. Okay. We know that Kororika no. Coming from Vera. So Kororika was after Vera. So what we're saying is potentially we actually need more here. Morajai, Kororika, or sorry, Vera, Kororika, potentially, right? Short sea voyage. Also, if the world's round, sailing could also go around the backside. Oh, jeez. I need to write this down. Kororika after Vera. Vera to Kororika. Morajai to Vera. Morajai to Vera. Vera to Kororika. Then to Nuance, then home. So this What if it's this? There it is. A little bit of guesswork, but we had just enough to make it work. All right. There are two things in here. The deed, which we have actually read this before. Because we drafted the room 46 as an outer room, thanks to the blessing of the monk. We actually drafted room 46 outside, which in that case the crown was replaced by the deed on the thing. So we did that already. So we've actually read this, and I've read all of this before. This is entirely new. The last will and testament of me, Herbert S. Sinclair. Astronomer Gamer, thank you for the follow. I, Herbert S. Sinclair, the Mount Holly estate at Reddington, do publish and declare this instrument my last will and testament, and hereby revoke all wills and codicils heretofore made by me. There's a period after testament. Interesting. I declare that I am not and have never been married and have no children. First, I direct that all my debts and outstanding expenses be paid as soon as after my decease as possible. Direct all the servants and staff of my employ at the time of my death shall be granted indefinite leave to be paid out of the reserves of my estate set aside for such occasion until such time as a new master of Mount Holly bids their return. In the event that the aforesaid reserves for this purpose are depleted before a new master of the estate is found, I direct my executor to make provisions for their future employment and do so in a manner that is just and equitable. Blah, blah, blah. Thirdly, to my faithful valet, Hartley Ruoda, I hereby gift to him the lake house in Trinsdale. Yep, I remember reading this. As a small measure of gratitude for his many years of unwavering loyalty and devoted service, I direct that my executive take such steps that are necessary to transfer ownership to the said lake house to Hartley Road, and should use all reasonable efforts to persuade him to accept the same. Love that. To my late cousin Tillin's two children, Courtney Farron and Rygard Farron. Courtney wrote the note that is in the time lock safe, who have sometimes been impulsive and hasty in their actions. I grant to each a cuckoo clock set eternally on the sacred hour, for only time will tell when they are ready to slow down enough to appreciate the gifts bestowed upon them with the patience and wisdom that comes with maturity. Interesting. Now I'm going to be looking for cuckoo clocks. In the case that Lionel Epstein should return from his travels abroad, or in the event that any of his heirs should present themselves, I bequeath to him or them, as the case may be, the diary and its related key, which formerly belonged to his sister Clara Epstein, which I have kept in her room and beside her grave, respectively and respectfully. I already know that the key is there, I just haven't drafted the tomb again in order to get her ladyship's chamber, so that's a clue of that. In addition, it is my fervent desire that the gallery, along with all the artwork contained within it, be bestowed upon the Reddington Museum of Art, including the sculptures, exhibits, and the entire collection of drawings by Christopher Manson, comprised of 4 pieces titled... Okay, so if you're struggling with these, you get a first letter for each of them. For think, ponder, realize, and ruminate. One of the few puzzles I did not enjoy in this game. Generous donation shall be made 1 year hence following the date of my earthly departure, when it will be removed from Mount Holly's draft pool. Interesting. When it will be removed from Mount Holly's draft pool. I wonder if you go 365 days or something, if it actually does remove. Moreover, to the Grand Cathedral of Iraja, I bequeath 8 stone statues, sculpted in the likeness of the 8 Aegeran angels. There we are. Orinda, Lydia, Rinna, Joya, Dauja, Vea, Mila, and Draxus. So there's my names right there. I just need to know which ones go with which things. The remaining ones I don't have written down are... Orinda must be the queen one. So that leaves Lydia, Joya, Dauja, and Vea. Okay. These sculpted figures have been in the Sinclair tomb for multiple generations, and even though there has been much debate over their natural numeric order, they have nevertheless remained steadfast in their safeguarding of our family's secrets. I trust they will continue to provide the Cathedral of Iraja that same level of stewardship. Okay. I give and bequeath to my nephew Simon P. Jones, son of my dear niece Mary Matthew. Matthew is only spelled with one T. There's a letter missing. I don't know if that's intentional or not. Or I'll have to check the thing if that was always the case. Residing the remainder of my estate and of my right, title, and interest in and to the house and land which I own near Mount Holly, as a token of the cordial and affectionate relationship for nearly half a century his grandmother, Clara Epstein, has shown me. The above provision and bequest is contingent on my aforementioned grandnephew discovering the location of the 46th room of my 45-room estate on Mount Holly. This room, among other things of value, holds the physical deed to the entire estate, as well as many other personal effects and policies of insurance. Interesting. The location of the room has been kept a secret from all the staff and servants of the manor, but I'm confident that any heir worthy of the Sinclair legacy should have no trouble uncovering its whereabouts within a timely manner. Interesting that it says many other personal effects and policies of insurance. Curious about that. So my grandnephew fails to uncover this room or provide proof of his discovery to the executors of my will, then this gift shall lapse, and the above clauses on this page and provisions pertaining to that clause shall be considered null and void, and the rest of my estate shall be disposed of and gifted to the Orindian Heritage Foundation, under condition that the house be immediately winnowed and sealed with explicit instructions and allowances that the site shall not be reopened until black flags are once again flying over Oris, or 110 years have passed since my death, whichever shall come first. Interesting. As one final gift to my grandnephew, Simon P. Jones, regardless of whether he finds room 46 or not, I leave and bequeath to him the original manuscripts of his mother's works that were produced here, under the roof of her childhood home. The preliminary draft copies include Red Prince, which she wrote while visiting the estate during the brightest of her days, and A New Clue, which she penned here during the darkest. I hope that in due time and in the natural order of things, you will come to be content as I have with what little herself she left us. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand this 18th day of March, 1993, Herbert S. Sinclair. Preliminary draft copies of Red Prince and A New Clue. So, Red Prince, there are 2 copies on the estate. One is in the nursery, one is in the master bedroom. I wonder if the one in the master bedroom is the preliminary draft copy, because that's the one where she wrote the note that I changed the ending. A New Clue, the only copy we have is the one from the library that is that we purchased. So I'm actually curious if somewhere there is a slightly different copy. I still need to take the magnifying glass . I still need to take the magnifying glass to the copy of Red Prince that is in the master bedroom. So that is a little strange to me. Nadine, thank you for the follow. Interesting. I wanna like figure out if there's can I smash through the window and walk outside, please? There's my 8 realm symbols. Oh geez. Oh geez. This clock is still moving. Those clocks are set to... Oh, these are the two cuckoo clocks, huh? Set to 1:30. That's pretty funny. I only have 14 steps. 7. 7 to get back to the foundation. Seven to get back to the foundation, huh? I don't have a break room yet, or in this run, so I can't stop in a break room to guarantee myself a key card for tomorrow. I wonder if there's a way to open up the rest of this desk or something, you know? I don't have a drawing room either. I wanted to look at a drawing room. I wonder if we can find a statue of Marion somewhere. Or of, you know, one of them. To place here. You know, a bust. If we can find a bust to place there. Sinclair is the holly leaf with the 3 slashes. That's the bottom third of our thing there. Marigold is the combination of the swan with the spades, which is there, and the Sinclair. This one on the right is the Jones part, what we got from our father. So that's our crest. Yeah, so yeah, okay, so this is telling us Sinclair is the holly leaf, Epson is the swan and the spades, Marigold is the combination of Sinclair and Epson, Jones, our coat of arms, is the combination of Marigold and Jones. That, I feel like that's going to be highly relevant at some point. Just looking at that, I feel like those coats of arms are going to be highly relevant at some point. Okay. Herbert, you motherfucker. Power hammer, assemble. Take it. I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything with this, but I'm going to assemble it anyway. I don't think there's really much left to do today, to be honest. I'm going to just... assemble my last contraptions. And I do want to go into the underground. We already have essentially a burning glass, don't we? We already have the self-igniting torch, which is a burning glass. So there's no reason to make that. I don't have an aquarium, so I'm not going to bother with that. I would like to take the power hammer around a few places and see if I can smash anything with it. Like, here we're in the armory, right? Brick walls. I don't think so. But, you know, it's one of the few things that I might still be able to do anything with. Is power hammer things. I'm going to go back down to... I really want the power hammer when I draft a tomb next. Like, if I see a tomb, I am slamming that, grabbing the tomb as hard as I can, and then I am going to try to aggressively draft so that I can make the power hammer, and yeah, so that I can make the power hammer. I'm pretty sure I already checked all of this with the power hammer. Yeah. Because I think there's breakable walls down there. And also, if I draft the tomb, I'm also going to be aggressively looking for her ladyship's chamber, because I have access to the diary key now, which that's some new information that I didn't have before. I want to take the power hammer. I want to take the power hammer to the safe house. Right? Like, of course I do, right? What if there's something smashable there? I don't see anything obviously smashable here, but what if there is? They've been pretty consistent in this game, making the power hammer smashable things brick walls. You know? With the one exception of the like wooden wall going from the to that other part of the basement. But I do wonder about like some stuff over here. Yeah, they've been pretty consistent about that being brick walls, which makes me think I'm not actually going to be able to get anything here. What if I have to be here? I did not draft a boiler room today, so I still need to draft the boiler room and then come back for the red room under the thingy. Yeah, I'm not seeing any smashable stuff here. It's been a long day. This is almost a 3-hour day. Good old day 78. I got so much done today, absolutely. I mean, we raised our allowance from 44 to 54 today. We solved the puzzle in room 46, right? All the sanctum rooms are done. We upgraded a room. We got a regular upgrade for the guest bedroom. We permanently increased our lock picking skills 4 times. Like, we did a lot today. I got the satellite, yeah. 4 sigils solved, exactly. So today I got today we got 4 sigils solved, plus there was the box in the Lost and Found. So that was my 10 extra allowance today. I don't think... Wait a minute, hang on. Hang on. It's this one right here. That one right there. That's the picture. Okay. Castle. Great, more puzzles. Oh god. Okay. So, castle, we have seen that word before. I'm just checking all of these for smashing. Okay, it's just that one. We have seen that word before. The only place I've seen the word castle before is in the Blackbird's Grotto on the screens. It said castle cloak something. But cloak doesn't fit straight down. So I made a note of that in my thing. Made a note of that. Can't power smash that. Can't smash anything here. I don't think I can smash anything out here. There's one more place I want to take this. I'm gonna have to review the security footage again. Rewrite down the notes of those 3 words. It was castle cloak and something. I don't know that it directly refers to that, but we now have a puzzle that says castle. Rooks in chess are also referred to as castles. Could be a relationship there. Already smashed that out. I drafted the shelter today. Okay. In the greenhouse, Denny Ravane wrote that one of the outside rooms had a broken wall. I suspect it is the hovel, because that is where he hung out. But it also could be... No, this is too secure. Okay, I'm gonna need to draft the hovel. Like, actually, I want to check something really fast. Radiation monitor. Ooh, hi. 12.4. All doors unlocked. Nice. Interesting. Okay, so if I get, it looks like maybe 4 successful triggers, I can just unlock everything in the house? That's cute. I've never tried doing that, but that's very cute. So you have to actually look at the radiation monitor to trigger that. You can't just trust it to happen. Interesting. Okay, Blackbird's Grotto. So there's also like, look at this. There's also like cracked looking fucking walls here too. And of course there's still this. But yeah, I'll have to check and see if there's anything. I'm gonna go through here. I don't think there will be anything here, but can I smash it? Anything I can smash here? No. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I suspect the hovel is going to be where I can smash through a wall with the power hammer, but it might be something different. I don't think I'm going to make it. I want to check the apple orchard or the gemstone cavern. There's a chance I make it to the gemstone cavern if I get another footprint. Another footstep saved. I did. Gemstone cavern. Okay, doesn't look like there's anything particularly smashable here. I feel like there's got to be more to this room. This is the closest thing to that room from the Great Alzara that had all of the hanging lanterns. It didn't look like this, but it's like reminiscent of that. So, do you think we can make it to the orchard? Come on, tennis shoes. Yep, we got it. Okay. I feel like I want to smash through here too. I'm not sure of the lore significance of it, but I'm very convinced that there used to be like a safe in here. That this is the final, where the final red gem was, and this is where the letter was missing from. Because they made it very clear that this counted as one of the small gates that the dates opened, you know? Okay, smash the bird bath. You already got the satellite, so not worried about that. Alright, we're going to call it a day here. We did so much today. That was huge. I don't even know... At this point, I don't even know... Other than smash it, like... Yeah. I don't know what to do next. There are still a lot of things to do, but yeah. Wow, there's a lot that we did today. The big things I still have left to do are that I have written down are to smash the walls in the tomb, Lady Epson's diary, potentially more archives, clues from the aquarium to get more archive keys, this information about Red Prince and a new clue, and then the boiler room, the underpass room. Let's call it a day. Yes. That was huge, though. Simon's only 14, I know. Makes sense he's trying to smash everything. Garden Castle. 4 green rooms. Throne room. 2 new rooms today, because we did get the Lost and Found and we got the throne room today for the first time. I'm down for sushi. We are going to take a break because that was a huge day. We're going to take a break here. We'll be back and we'll do maybe 1, maybe 2 more days, but not a lot today. Good night. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. We'll take a break and I'll see you all later in a minute.